G'day everyone. Well, as you might know, we've got a really interesting rum tasting coming up. Normally we go for the whiskey or the gin with these tastings, but every now and again we like to focus on rums. And when we do so, we like to open some really good bottles. So this tasting is no exception. And the main sort of core of the tasting is focusing on the Transcontinental Rum line, which is arranged by Le Maison de Whisky in France, where they do some funky stuff with the rums normally. They will often get the casks from a region, be it the tropics or wherever the rum is from, and then they'll take it back to France and they'll finish the aging process there. So it's quite a rare thing in the whole of the booze industry. You don't normally see it. So it really makes these rums exceptionally interesting. Two of the more special rums, two of the really, really special rums we're trying in this tasting are these two here. So we've got a 2001 14-year-old Marie Galante from Rum and a Hampton, which is taken over to France and actually finished in cognac casks. So these bottles are really special, and I wanted to open them today in a video to give you guys a little bit of a preview for the tasting. To put into perspective, we only get one bottle allocated of this Marie Galante for the whole of Australia. It's actually bottled for the Le Maison de Whisky Singapore branch, and they were grateful enough, or we were grateful enough that they sent us over one bottle, only 69 from this cask, and Marie Galante rum, in this case Rum you don't see it at this age statement normally. So it's an incredible privilege to be able to try it and taste it, and I'm chomping at the bit to give this a go. Boom, clean cork open. Now this hasn't been finished in Europe. This is actually this is 14-year-old Marie Galante, really quite high ester, and in a bourbon barrel. So rum of this class, of this pedigree, probably isn't the sort of rum that you would take somewhere and finish in a different climate or put into another cask, because it's just truly special the way it is. When it comes to rum, aging processes, particularly given that a lot of these rums are from tropical areas, is highly accelerated in comparison to whiskey in cooler climate areas. Oh yes, this is absolutely delicious. Rums are awesome because they really, they really do leap out of the glass, particularly these sort of rums. Straight away on the nose with this one, you get some interesting sort of polish, like furniture wax, like leathery sort of nice, like. And then there's also a little bit of spice on the nose too, like some papaya, which is what you would expect. In the palate, it's really high ester, so it's got so much funk and flavour behind it. It's beautiful, but it's also really, really rested. And I think it's at the cask strength, or that'll be cask strength at 52.2%, and it is just gorgeous. So it is 69 bottles from this cask, from the Maison de Whisky, and it's incredible. It's a beautiful nose. There's almost a little bit of like curry powder coming on as well, which I don't know, each to their own. I love a bit of curry powder, curried egg sandwiches, delicious to me. The next one we're going to open here is the Jamaica HD, which stands for Hampton, and this is 3.2 years in Jamaica at Hampton, and then they pull it over and they finish it in cognac barrels, which is just awesome. So they did the same with the Australian version, obviously, which we tried last year and last year's rum tasting, and it was absolutely exquisite. So this is one that I'm so excited to taste as well. Rum finished in cognac casks. It's awesome. And what you're going to get from a somewhat relatively young Hampton is is a lot of funk, a lot of character. You're still going to get a lot of the spirit pumping through. So if this wasn't finished in the cognac barrels, it would probably make me leap out of my chair, quite literally. But what finishing in the cognac barrels does is obviously adds a layer of different complexity, but it also just subdues a little bit of that like really big tanniny sort of the high esteriness comes down a little bit. Normally from Hampton Spirit you get a heap of fruit, a heap of funk, and like lots of spice, and it really comes through, and it's delicious, and I love Hampton. But this one is just it's different in the sense that straight away that funk isn't jumping out, but it's a little bit more complex. And the cognac barrel is definitely coming through. So on the nose, you're getting like a lot of mince pies, fruit tarts, that sort of thing. But you can see the sort of the grapiness from that cognac cask that's just come along and just nestled in there nicely and rested it beautifully. Oh wow! Yeah, that's delicious. So it's still got a lot of funk behind it. And it sort of comes in two waves on the palate. At the start, I think you probably get a little bit of that cognac cask influence straight away, and then it goes sort of like bam, and the Hampton, the rum, the big sort of esteriness, the spice and the fruit and the funk jump in, like banana skins and tropical fruits like guavas and that sort of thing. It is truly exceptional. This is great because it's ingenuity. It's something you wouldn't normally try, and something that is really unique. Finishing Hampton rum in a cognac cask, it's delicious. So lots of fruit and spice for that one, and another one that I think we only got a couple of bottles allocated for Australia. So it'd be great to be able to share them all with you guys. These ones plus another couple of really interesting rums in the tasting. Please grab a ticket. I'll put the link below, and it's going to be a beautiful tasting. Not too expensive, I guess. Like the packs are pretty affordable as well for what it is. You can get a $50 pack for the tasting, and it's an opportunity, a rare opportunity to try some pretty exceptional rums. I'm really looking forward to this tasting. So hope to see you guys in there in about a week's time. Cheers.